Good morning. Welcome to Sunday, August 27th. I woke up this morning, I lay in bed and I check out my phone, news, check stuff. I check my Kickstarters, which currently is just Bones, but see what's going on that. And I was looking at it, and a Wave 1 shipping opened up. Basically, the way that the Kickstarter works is based on the order that you get in to start backing is the order that they ship things out. So they're in blocks, so that basically if you back earlier, the upside to that is that you get your rewards a little bit earlier. And I mean, it may be the difference of a week or maybe 2 weeks a lot of the times. But because I do videos, that's important to me. If I can get it a week earlier, that means I can have my videos put up while some people are still waiting for their rewards to arrive. And so that's important to me. But I'm just scrolling around, and someone had dropped out of, that had gotten it on Wave 1, on day 1. They dropped out, so it was available. I'm just like, is that for real? And I check, yeah, that's for North America. And so I switched over. So I now am in the first wave of shipping, which is good. In the previous two, Bones 2 and 3, both of those Kickstarters, I have been in Wave 1. But both of those were because I knew about it ahead of time, and I was waiting for it. This one I found out a couple days afterwards, so by the time I found out, Wave 6 was the earliest. I was kind of sad by it, but of course, I mean, I backed it before I even found out what was included. But I am very, very good morning to wake up and find that I was able to switch to that, so that's good. Now I gotta, finish waking up. I'm still tired, but that was a cool thing to get to do early in the morning. So, Not too busy of a morning otherwise. Did do just a little bit of editing, that kind of thing. But not too much. Otherwise, now I'm headed to church. Of course, got the Sunday off. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to go, so looking forward to it.
Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship your holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, worship your holy name.
But while Joseph was there in prison, listen, the Lord was with him. What? No, you didn't understand, Lord. I'm in prison. I'm not feeling blessed. But while Joseph was there in prison, the Lord was with him. And the Lord showed him kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison warden. I wonder if he thought that kindness would be a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Church was good. But Mom and Mike are still out of town, so I don't have family plans afterwards. So what I figure I'll do is what I was gonna do until I ended up with plans with friends yesterday. So I'm just gonna go home and place an order at a Pizza Hut. Get some wings. I believe the coupon code I had is still active. So as long as that is, then that's my plan. Alright, so I went up and got Pizza Hut again not getting pizza. I got wings, though this time I got a double order of the medium buffalo wings, so double order that. And I got one of the Alfredo pasta, which I remember liking, but I think it used to be bigger. Either way, it came with, for only a small upcharge, from breadsticks to cheese sticks, so that's more than enough food. And with my $10 off coupon from filling out the survey the last time I went, wasn't too bad of a price either. Food was good, but there was more than I really needed. But that was really good as well. I had enough to pack for lunch tomorrow, so I'll have some leftovers for lunch at work tomorrow. I know as I'm sitting up and I'm tidying things up just enough that, because from what I've heard, most likely my friends are going to be available to game tomorrow, so getting things tidied up enough, at least where it's not difficult to set up and film. And I've actually had someone's asked, hey, have you, do a video where you show off the posters? Or I recently got an email on my gaming channel of, hey, can you do a sort of a room tour? And for a while, I've kind of been thinking, oh no need to do that. I'll show things off when I move out and get a place of my own, because currently I am just stuck in my mother's basement. But I don't have, I have some time scale goals, but I don't have anything really set at this point. So I don't know if that'll work out or not. So I was thinking, you know what, why not? I'll give you a bit of a tour of my room and my stuff. I collect stuff. I have all sorts of stuff. Stuff is cool. And so I figured I'd show that off, and why not start from the door, which has my awesome TARDIS hoodie that I just keep on the back of it. It's summer right now, so there's no reason to wear it, but it looks nice on the door, so I leave it hanging up there. And the bullet that my nephew had for like Indiana Jones Halloween costume, but it's like an actual leather, prop, basically. And so when they were getting rid of everything from it, I was like, wait, that's like actually cool. I don't really have a reason to have it, but I didn't want it to be thrown away, and that was the best spot I could think to keep it. Otherwise, I got cabinet here, I guess case here, that just on the top has like my pirate hat from when I go to the Ren Fair, and some other little knick-knack collectible things that I had from when I was younger, like this tiger that I got when I was a small child at the zoo, or things like that. And then I have a shelf that is just all Harry Potter. So my different Harry Potter pop figures, a couple of the books from like the movie making, the series of hardbacks, the illustrated editions that have come out yet, Cursed Child. If you haven't read Cursed Child, you should. That was an interesting one, and admittedly the only one that I actually read in text. All the others were audiobooks for me, and I enjoy that. I prefer audiobooks, but I wasn't able to wait for an audiobook. I just had to get the story, and I loved it. I got the Honeydukes jar from Florida, Wizarding World down in Florida. I have not been they had the Hogsmeade, and that's obviously where that's from. But I have not been since they have done Diagon Alley. I had left school and therefore left Florida by that point, so I have not gotten to go back since, and I really want to. And then a couple other little things. The little Deathly Hallows necklace, a couple wands, Victor Crumbs and Hermione Granger's are in those boxes. Oh, and it's way back there, but there is also one of the Butterbeer mugs from, again, Wizarding World. Below that, most of it, pretty much if you go from here over and below, is RPG stuff. There's extra stuff here, Strong's Concordance if I need it, some Lord of the Rings stuff, a Doctor Who novel that I still haven't gotten around to reading, and of course, the Hamilton book, which has some great images. I was hoping that it would have bits of dialogue from between the songs. When I got it, it doesn't. But it does have some great stories on the writing of the songs and all that, so that was well worth it. Whatever we have. Vampire, a couple of the Doctor Who role-playing game books I have, Pathfinder Pawns, some box sets, Star Wars role-playing games, a couple weird things, Iron Kingdoms, Numenera, D20 Modern, whatever, a few other role-playing game stuff that's over here, as well as my collection of arbitrary cups that I don't really have a space for. But, again, it's just one of the things of, yes, well, I want these for when I have a place of my own. I gotta put them somewhere. So they go there, and they do things like hold the sonic screwdriver. Then we got Ginny. This is the newer of my computers. It's whatever. Was it end of 2011, October, November of 2011. But it's the newer of them. It's the one when I left school, I built it as an editing machine. And so it's what all my videos get edited on. It was what I made sure that I had so that I could do whatever video projects I would need. So it's still holding up, but I've upgraded a couple parts. I've upgraded like the graphics card. I've added extra hard drives, and I still need to add another one for one that went away. And above that, I do have some posters. I have Moulin Rouge, which is a beautiful musical that I love the use of like normal, like popular music to make the musical. I really enjoyed that, and that was I believe the first one that I saw that did that. Alice in Wonderland and Harry Potter. I also have Rogue over there from back when my first job was an usher in a movie theater, and that was one of the mini posters that was given out. I have quite a few Take the Stand mini posters, or Take a Stand mini posters from whatever, was that X3? But that's the one that ended up getting put up because that was where I had a bit of spare space. And technically things have moved since it was put up. I think technically that shelf was there years back when I put it up, but that was before I got this TV and changed all of this furniture. These used to be stacked up or whatever. It's all moved since I put it up, but basically that TV is the TV that I have for the Wii U, which I almost never play. But other than that, I know I will need a second TV when I have a place of my own and have more than one room. And it was free. My grandmother gave it to me when she basically she was having trouble getting it to do what she wanted it to do. And so she got one that was easier for her to work with. So I got that one. And I'm very grateful. And then I have that bookshelf over there that I built. I built that in high school. And really, it's a DVD shelf that was built originally as a DVD shelf. And that is now, it's got, of course, my Harry Potter DVDs and Blu-rays. It has, I think, the cases for pretty much all the cases for all the Blu-rays, and then a few other arbitrary just movies or lots of CDs, especially like Ren Fair, like those kind of bands that I'm more likely to get CDs from these days. Or I guess technically I've started ordering them off Amazon as well. Those have probably gotten stacked up on there too. Just whatever CDs that are, I guess, the more recent CDs in my life, not the ones from my childhood. Those are stashed away somewhere else, just like all of the rest of the DVD boxes are. Because really all my DVDs I keep in a case over there. I'll show you. And then we got my bed. That is a water bed, because I find that incredibly comfortable. It really is. It's the most comfortable bed. And I mean, I had normal beds as a kid, slept on a loft, fell off of the loft onto Legos, just started sleeping on the floor for a little bit because, gee, I didn't want to fall off my loft again, moved, ended up with a different room, and decided, you know what, I didn't need that loft, and I didn't want any bed because the loft gave me space underneath it where I wasn't wasting very much space. But as a kid, I was, in a smaller room, and to save space, I went years where I just slept on the floor. Then my brother moved out. I got, basement room, which used to be much bigger. This wall wasn't here when it was originally built. I had what is now Mike's office as well. So I got a bed. It was a normal bed. Time went on. And the opportunity for a waterbed frame came up. And I got it, and it was probably one of the best. It's just one of the most comfortable beds that I've had. I'm all for waterbed. I got a Katawa Sorujo, scroll that I kind of designed. Basically, I mean, that art, all the art is art. That art, in the bulk of it, is the art from the like the digital player's book or whatever, I guess. And then I added a little bit of a black bar to the top and a lot of a black bar to the bottom. Basically, you can see where their shoes come off. There was a little bit of black. Well, I just extended it. And I picked out sprites for each of the characters that I liked. And I aligned them up and got the actual logo. And I put that there. I assembled it all. And I had it made at like custom wall scrolls. Basically, I was... it was a little bit where I was really... basically, I'd played through a couple of the characters in the game, and each one got me just so emotional that I ended up with a real attachment to it. I was like, I wanted to invest something to have something because I had such an emotional connection to it. Otherwise, really weird game. Really weird when you think about it, but it made me cry, and so I cared about it. I got that little CD case that has old stuff. Like, I mean, I have that. There's a little box in there of like old CDs, like old like computer disc CDs of software that was like the demo software with my first computer that I ever got. That really I should just throw away. It's all software from back, was that 98 or might have been XP, but I think it was older than that. I think that computer I ended up having XP on, but I think it was older when I got it. And I just had ended up eventually upgrading it to XP. So really I should get rid of all that stuff. It's pointless now. But I'd actually have to open it and look at it and make the decision yes, and make sure I didn't mix anything else in there with it. So it's just off in the corner of the room, not in anyone's way. And then in front of that we have all of my, well, many of my Disney Infinity figures. They just sort of sit up there. They are now quite crowded. They weren't always, but they are these days. And of course, you know, on each side of the bed I have storage over here and some book storage and stuff over here. And also, like right now, I'm using this as the head of my bed. Obviously, this is over here is the headboard, but I will just every so often, couple months or whatever, I'll just switch it up. Find I sleep better if, you know, if I have trouble sleeping, basically my way of getting around it is I'll switch which side is the head of the bed. And usually, at least for that night, I can get to sleep. Then we get over here to this computer. This is Alice. This was the first computer that I built for myself. Like, that I bought it parts, you know, individually, and that I put it together. So, that is Alice. And then I have the Doctor Who sort of weird vinyl kind of poster thing up above that. Basically, some of these outer walls are concrete walls. They're difficult to put posters on, so I have the wall scroll over there, and this one is a weird material. But basically, I was able to hang it without it attaching to the wall, so it functions. That's what I got. Oh, and I love, here I have my pins. Many of them are just the Loot Crate pins. But I also have some really awesome Disney pins. I love that one of Walt. That was one of the last things that I made sure to buy before leaving Florida. It was just something meaningful to me. But a lot of them are Loot Crate pins. I also have like this Star Wars Darth Maul, whatever, annual pass holder exclusive pin, and some of them that I've gotten from the Disney website. I also have my old Pokemon card game league badges from back when I played that. I only earned like half of them. The other ones I just bought once the season was through because I wanted a collection for a costume. But I did earn like half of them, like 4 or 5 of them. So there's that. And then we get to this giant entertainment center that I don't use as an entertainment center. I've actually, in the sections down here, I built shelves. And in here, I've added shelves. I put great work into adding additional shelving to this entertainment center to make it function just as a giant shelf, and it works great. Guess we'll start at the top. I got a little Jasmine Disney art back there that I got years back and really had nowhere to put, so it got stuffed back there. I got some whatever Q-Figs and Loot Crate boxes on top of some board games, like Hero Quest and Key to the Kingdom were definitely some of the better board games there. Those 4 cases are what house my DVDs and Blu-rays. None of them are completely full. If I moved them, basically they're spaced out. If I moved them into all of them, though, they probably would go into the 3rd one. A fair amount of that is like TV series collections, though. Moving downward, we have my just little random figures and such case. A lot of the stuff is now from Loot Crates, but I also have things like I have my little art mannequin dudes and a little sand-filled figure that I got, I think probably Six Flags, and other weird stuff that I've gotten. Little angel Christmas ornament that Austin got me. Probably the first year that he after he'd gone years without being able to get a job, and he'd gotten a job, and so me and then like we had some friends that lived in it, you know, we're all living together at the time. He got each of us sort of a Christmas present, just sort of, I guess, the wanting to show kindness, and they were all either fairies or angels, because also it was wanting to put things that he enjoys in each of our houses. But it was a Christmas ornament, and a lot of times I move it to the Christmas tree on Christmas, but I don't, it's the one that I don't pack away during the rest of the year, because it does, I mean, it is very sweet that he got it for me. It actually says on there, friendship fills your life with happiness. So, thought that was sweet. Yeah, that, and I got whatever Ring of Power and all sorts of other weird stuff in there too. Little bit of whatever we got. Walt Disney's Uncle Remus stories, which is Brer Fox, Brer Bear, all those characters from Splash Mountain. And that is a book that I had when I was a kid. And that I loved, and that I don't know what happened to it. It was gone. So maybe, probably sometime in high school, I took some time and effort, found it on eBay, paid, I forget, but it felt like a huge amount of money to get it, and got a new copy so that I have a copy. Because that was just always a wonderful, wonderful book. Then I got whatever, a couple of the big, you know, sort of theater programs and all of the playbooks stuffed in here. Nerdy Nubby's Cookbook, great fun, and some role-playing game stuff. GURPS, which I've played and is fun. True 20, which I haven't played, but it's sort of like a different version of like 3rd edition kind of thing. Fantasy Roleplay, which I haven't played, but I'm so glad to have. I may eventually, I may not, but it is just a cool set, and I like collecting role-playing game stuff. Products. That is definitely something I enjoy collecting. So, and then some older 40K stuff from back when I was trying to get into that for a while and end of the world. Then we move down on the shelves. Those white boxes down there at the bottom are magic cards, magic cards, magic cards, magic cards. Oh, I'm sorry. Magic cards. I have a lot of magic cards. I like magic cards though, so that's fine. And then we also get things like spellbook cards, and I have my big tray there that's for organizing dice. My second sonic screwdriver, which I didn't get a second one on purpose. It was a gift from my grandmother, and I appreciate that she knew enough of me to know that I liked, or at least know to listen to my mom, that I liked Doctor Who. So she saw something with the logo for, I think it was Christmas, and she got it for me. I appreciate that. I figure, whatever, I'll leave it in the box. That way I have one to play with and one that I know will still be nice later on. Oh well. And then over here we have just tiles and some pawns, some tiles. This top box is actually the one that has stuff that's probably the most recent from my actual game that I'm playing, and then just mats and other tiles for role-playing games. They're here close enough that if I need to spontaneously grab one, I can. You know, just sort of, they're going to a lost city or to a museum or to a watch station. I can just grab and pull one. And then also on top I have Game Master screen and all the folders and stuff. That's where I stashed all the stuff for the game. Down on the floor I have a couple of boxes. Those are Reaper Bones figures. That's where I've stashed those down. And these binders, these are a cut-up 5th edition Player's Handbook. And I guess I'll give that story with this shelf. This shelf is, other than Adventure Maximus, a Doctor Who book that doesn't fit on most other shelves, and then Dungeons and Dragons. So Pathfinder, 5th edition, 4th edition, 3rd, and 1st. Just things I've collected over time. I started with 3.5. I've played 3.5 a good amount. I played some Pathfinder. I play a lot of 5th edition now. I played like one game of 4th edition, but that was long before I had those books. Those I got at used gaming auction. And they look beautiful on a shelf. I still want to continue the collection of 4th edition. I may play it eventually. Anyways, if you look here, I have 2 Player's Handbooks. If you watched my gaming channel much, you may have at one point noticed for a while we were joking around because we had a Player's Handbook that was falling apart. Eventually someone mentioned on one of my videos, hey, you can just let Wizards know, they'll replace that. So we did, and they did. So I now have I still have the one that's falling apart, which I feel a lot better just saying to my players here, yeah, handing that out. And then I have a good one that I use, and then I have to make sure I have a nice one because, again, I collect the thing. I knew my friend Dustin, who had bought his also right at the beginning. I guess the first run was a little defective. Also had the same issue, so I let him know. So he let Wizards know, and he got a new one, and his solution was to take his old book, and he actually had all the pages cut out, and he put them all into little like sheet protectors and put them in a giant binder. He decided he didn't really need it, so he gave it to me. I then took those pages out and split the binder in 2. I think it's like one half is just magic, one half is the rest of the Player's Handbook. But that way I essentially have a 3rd Player's Handbook, which is really nice because generally my players are too cheap to get a book of their own. And then we have our tables down here, which I used to have just sort of empty. But I ran out of space to store loot crates, and so they ended up getting stored back here. It's a lot of those. And also I have back there's some extra, just lesser known or lesser influential role-playing game books. They needed a spot, so I have that. And then up front is some great role-playing game books that I got at a garage sale, and at that point I had no real space to put them, so they just got stacked up front. Same with that Castle Ravencroft and that Gamma World box that they were just at a garage sale, and I got a great deal. I do have board games. I have Descent. I don't own those Descent games. Those are Dustin's. But he's left them here for a while, so that's where they are. I have a few extra pawn collections that I haven't put into binders yet. A couple of my old school box sets, including Spelljammer in wonderful condition. Even has like whatever the little pawn figures are in here, not punched out, or rather not cut out because they weren't punched. You would cut them. But I got that again, and that was another used gaming auction find. But I sort of keep it there to keep it safe. Remember, Carcassonne, Catan, Lords of Waterdeep, a few role-playing game books that are on my, hey, I should probably read these list. A few other board games stashed back there. Just sort of making space for things. Oh, and it's also where I keep all my X-Wing stuff. My mat and my ships and stuff are all in that container. I have not played X-Wing in a couple of months. I miss it. But You know, it's just the kind of thing I haven't dedicated the time to. Now, above these, I have my main back wall for most of my videos. So, those are posters people are going to be probably most familiar with. My 2 Prisoner of Azkaban posters. Just the Hermione Time Turner one. And then the trio with the Dementors, the Something Wicked This Way Comes. That was the first of the Harry Potter films that I saw in theaters. I'd not really been all that interested in them, but someone had gotten me, I think maybe my grandmother again, had gotten me the first couple of movies. Something where she got me, like, whether it was a garage sale or someone had gotten me somewhere where they just got them for free or almost nothing and said, hey, you might like this. People your general age seem to like this. And I was like, I don't care. But that was around the time of my life where I had started collecting movies. You know, enough that I now have those giant binders. So, whatever, at some point I watched them, even if just to also watch the bonus features with them. And I really enjoyed them. And so by the time the third one came out, I went and saw that one in theaters. That was a big deal. That was also probably my favorite. That is probably the one that if I have to say which one is the movie maybe better than the book, I like the film of Prisoner of Azkaban. I like how they show the time travel in that. So that was definitely one that I really enjoyed. And then around it, I have all these little things. These are all just printouts that I spent a whole bunch of ink on. Most of them are Doctor Who. You know, whatever, from the 50th anniversary special. I wanted David Tennant with Rose looking more of a traditional look. Some of the, whatever, Matt Smith covers that they did. Little Christmassy ones. We have, whatever, the promotional image from when Capaldi was taking on the role. These two, if that one is, first off, I love the coloring, the white and blue on the dress, or apron, or uniform, or whatever it is, but also just the emotional, that scene was so emotional. If you haven't seen that part, I wouldn't want to spoil it, and then The Doctor and Me, which was a plotline, again, that I loved, and then just a wonderful shot that some great photographer did of the castle in Disney World, because I love Disney World. And I used to always have, like, a calendar from the Chinese place on my door here, but this past year I had not been frequenting the same Chinese place enough that they just gave me one. So I ended up getting a poster to put on there, and I'm very happy with it. Actually, I'd seen that poster originally, like, with promotions for stuff, and actually had to go back and find it again in order to get it, but it was definitely my favorite promotional poster for that film. I like that. But those are the ones that are now in the background of all my shots. Moving around, I do have a box over here. On the top of it is the basically where I stack things I need to unbox for videos, and then underneath it is just packages and boxes, like from when I opened up my X-Wing figures. I haven't gotten rid of those boxes yet. There's a few extra role-playing game books that I got from used gaming auction, and I haven't really gotten to yet. Just a little storage space because I'm out of space at this point in my room. And that can slide in and out of the closet when I'm doing videos, so I can stash it away. We get the Hit Girl poster, because those were cool. Those were cool movies. Those were a entertaining take on the superhero genre. Yeah, let's put it that way. Entertaining take on the superhero genre. Yeah, so I have Hit Girl poster, then up here I have a couple of Hobbit posters, actually with Bilbo, and then with Gandalf on the path, another Alice in Wonderland, and my current calendar, which is Musical Blades, basically a local-ish, Missouri-based. I think they're out of Kansas City, Missouri, but still, they come to our Ren fairs, and it was one of the rewards for the most recent Kickstarter. So then we have my dresser, but on my dresser I have my Mac. That's where when I do web editing, that's where I do it on. It's where I used to do a lot more stuff on, but that's the only software that I really use on there regularly now. But basically I got the Mac when I went to school, because Full Sail said, hey, don't worry, we've included in your tuition the bill for your Mac. So here it is. And my little Lego Doctor Who set that one of the reasons I was like, yeah, I'll do a video showing off the room is because I wanted to show this off. This is definitely something I enjoy. We had the Daleks and Weeping Angel. We got both Smith and Capaldi as the Doctors. We have Jenna Coleman Lego, and then just the TARDIS Council itself. By the way, TARDIS Council is the keyword on my phone to pull up the voice commands.
By the way, incidentally, used to introduce a minor topic not connected with what was being spoken about previously.
Oh, thank you for defining by the way for me, phone. That was totally what I was trying to do there. Moving on. A couple other board games. Epic PvP and Munchkin. A couple other Loot Crate boxes because they are everywhere. They're definitely something I'm like, will I get rid of a bunch of them? Yes. But in order to do so, I will have to go through all of them and make that decision. I'm not sure exactly how or what I'm going to do, but at some point I will get rid of a lot of the stuff that I just know will never matter to me that I've gotten from it. Probably a bulk thing on eBay or something like that at some point. And then Fantastic Beasts, which I haven't put over on that shelf yet because I haven't actually read it. And because I haven't read it because I haven't had the drive to read it because I watched the movie. Anyways, got a few extra pops there. Some cases that come with like candy from Aldi that I've washed out. One of them still has a little bit of candy that my friends haven't eaten. I'll probably just have to wash it out anyways. Basically, I can stuff new candies or, most of the time, fortune cookies. So then actually on the mirror, I actually have just a bunch of pictures that I printed out on photo paper, actors, movie stills, promotionals from movies, even some art or other things, musicians. And then I have up here a hat that I let sit in the back window of my car in sun bleach. It used to be this color. It is now this color. It never really fit exactly properly, and I think it looks interesting now that way. And I got the little dragon, baby dragon thing that I'd gotten from the Ren Fair. Oh no, he's just active as can be, isn't he? It's a little puppet with a little handle down here. And I got it sort of rigged up to stay up there, just as somewhere to sit so that it doesn't get damaged. It's the kind of thing like I can set it up, rig it up on the shoulder so I have a little handle in my hand and I can move its head around. But that's where he lives, so got that at the Ren Fair. The TV that I use all of the time, and below that we have some Disney Infinity figures, Amiibos, Funko Pops, basically figures that I change out occasionally with some of the ones in other parts of the room because they're kind of what gets seen in the background of a lot of videos. Like when Austin is sitting there and Nick or Bob will put the camera on him, so they'll get seen there. Below that we have the PlayStation 3, which I use all of the time. That's how I watch YouTube, which is my primary TV. I am one of those TV views. If you have a YouTube channel, I know on mine, it's like I get so few TV views. Most of them are phone or even computer, but TV is very rare. I'm one of those. And they've just started, I've just started seeing like the end tag videos. You know how videos have at the end where they'll have links to other videos and that kind of thing? They've just now started showing up on the TV. I'm so excited. I might actually try testing them out at some point myself now that they actually show up for me. But yeah, so that's how I watch YouTube. And then I also have my PlayStation 4 below it, which, you know, I have for some games. And then below that is other video game and such related stuff, or I even have just a dedicated Blu-ray player if I were to need it. An old CRT TV that it's, you know, I used to have like 3 or 4 of them. Yeah, I'm now down to, I have 2 big screens and then I have just that one left on my CRTs. Above that I do have another Doctor Who little poster thing, and then Nightmare Before Christmas. I didn't get the Nightmare Before Christmas for myself, and I wouldn't have gotten that. No, it's a poster. It's an alright poster. I like Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just an alright design. Very much a modern kind of one. If I were to have gotten one, I'd probably have gotten more of the classic movie style poster. A lot of my posters are like the movie style posters. But that was a Christmas gift from my nephew, from Ethan, that he picked out knowing, hey, Adam likes Tim Burton stuff, Nightmare Before Christmas stuff. And so it was dedicated thought for him to find something that I would like, and that adds so much worth to it. So so it was one of the ones that got a spot on the wall. I mean, I have so many extra posters. As I said, I used to work at the movie theater, and I have posters for movies I've never seen because I could. But yeah. And then that takes us back to the door where we began. Other than that, of course, I have whatever table in the middle of the room that I move around for various videos. My lovely fan. All of that kind of thing. But otherwise, we've gone around the room. My voice is going away from talking so much, and I am sure I have just all of a sudden, in the random decision to do a room tour, made today's vlog incredibly long. Fun times. Hope you enjoyed it, though. I just heard a door. Mom's home. Hello. I missed you. It's nice to see them. Hang out with my mom a bit. Looking over all of her plants. I had to water those while she was gone, so making sure I didn't kill anything. Didn't, yeah. Kept all the plants alive. Go me. And she did, from Branson, she brought me home some peanut butter fudge. And she's all like, I only got like I think she said like a ½ pound instead of a full pound. And I'm like, you should get like a quarter or an eighth if ever I'm choosing to get it, because I mean, fudge is fattening. And it's not something, it's not a need, but peanut butter fudge is delicious, so that'll be nice. Then Mike also went and got China King, so that would be the old China King. So I haven't actually had that in a while. It's similar, but you know, bit different vegetables in the rice, bit different recipe on the chicken, that kind of thing. Still, nice to have dinner already just sorted out for me. I'm gonna eat, and then I'm probably gonna go to bed. I do have to return to work in the morning, so well, thank you for watching, and join me as my journey continues. Have a good day.